Hey guys, and welcome back to the Indie Spotlight here on the Fronsman Productions YouTube channel. If you're new to this series, this is where I take a look at some independent movies to help shine a spotlight on some of the amazing talent out there making indie films. Today we're going to talk about another short thriller by Brian Jones, Revenge Tour. Revenge Tour is a mix between a meta-dark comedy and a detective thriller that stars Vince Hobart Smith and Hassan Hamad as our two lead detectives. The two are investigating a series of murders involving film festival judges, and our lead suspect in the case is none other than Brian Jones himself. The running theory is that Jones, upset with not winning any awards at any of the film festivals he's in, is taking things to heart in the worst way possible. So as the detectives dig into the case, they begin pulling in some of the actors from Jones's movies in hopes of learning a little bit more about the case to get some evidence on Jones. However, they get more and more frustrated as the actors' responses seemingly lead them nowhere. That's all that I'll say about the plot to avoid any spoilers. However, as always, I want to talk about some of the elements of Revenge Tour that you can learn from as a fellow independent filmmaker. There's an old saying when it comes to screenwriting to write what you know, and it definitely looks like Brian Jones took that to heart by quite literally inserting himself into the story along with some of his close friends. And I love that the witnesses that are the actors are simply just playing themselves. I really find that the metatone here works very well. If anybody's familiar with the metal band Ice Nine Kills, I pick up a lot of similar vibes from this short film as I do some of their music videos, where they kind of interlace the actual music video with short films that show, detectives investigating the lead singer for murder, all part of their horror shtick. I really love, the way that this is kind of a tongue-in-cheek, of the director inserting himself as he's the suspect in the case that they're investigating. There's also a subtle message across Revenge Tour that kind of pokes fun at people who tend to take too much stake into film festivals and get too butthurt when they don't win. As someone in the indie film space myself, I've seen this quite a few times. In fact, one time recently, there's somebody who refused to even have their movie shown at a local festival just because they didn't win an award. I know a lot of times in the Indie Spotlight videos, I love to give some raw production filmmaking advice, but I really find that in Revenge Tour, the biggest lesson to take away is, as an independent filmmaker, don't take yourself too seriously and don't hang your entire filmmaking career on the dependency of film festivals. I think that Jones does a tremendous job across the movie hyperbolizing this mentality in a satirical manner while also really crafting an entertaining neo-noir dark comedy. Aside from the writing though, I do want to talk about one area of production that really does stand out a lot to me when watching this movie, and that's the special effects makeup. Early on in the movie, you see glimpses of the crime scenes as the detectives are talking about them, where the victims are killed in brutal fashion, before you see a cheeky message displayed on a cardboard sign next to their body. Looking at the credits, the special effects makeup team consisted of Morgan Riegler and Beth Metcalf, and they deserve some huge props on the work that they did in Revenge Tour. I will say that the bodies and the gore effects are gruesome and gnarly and just overall top notch. So if you're an independent filmmaker in the Dayton, Ohio area, I definitely would recommend possibly bringing them onto one of your projects down the line. Better yet, Beth is also a really great actress, so with her, you kind of get a 2-for-1 deal there. Like the last Brian Jones movie that I talked about on the Indie Spotlight Creatures of Habit, Revenge Tour is also currently on its festival run, though for some reason I suspect this one's definitely going to pick up a few awards, if you catch my drift. But either way, what that means is I can't post a link to the movie right now. However, definitely keep an eye out for this one when it does release publicly. I find that Revenge Tour is well worth a watch, especially for independent filmmakers, as it's a great example of how you can subtly break the fourth wall by combining fictional events with real people, including yourself, and your friends to tell a very interesting story. But anyway, that's all that I have for you here today. Remember, if you like this content and you want to see even more videos on indie filmmaking, go ahead and let me know by subscribing, dropping a like, and smashing that bell for notifications. And if you yourself are an independent filmmaker and you'd like for me to talk about your movie on the Indie Spotlight, all you got to do is down in the comments, let me know what is the name of your movie and where can I watch it, and I will add that bad boy to my watch list to talk about in a later episode. But anyway, guys, until next time, as always, that's a wrap.